Yo, what it do, everybody? This is your boy, the Black Gandhi, bringing y'all another video today. This one is going to be a little short and sweet. Some breaking news and a player option news that I wanted to go ahead and report on. So obviously, the first one is the trade that happened today. For a few weeks now, probably closer to a month, the Lakers were trying to get another pick in the first round, preferably in the lottery. And I thought that maybe they would be targeting probably the Miami Heat or the Charlotte or the New Orleans Pelicans, because they have a need at the position that they were exploring trading, and that was obviously their point guard D'Angelo Russell. It looked like that possibly he wasn't willing to be a backcourt mate of Lonzo Ball and play the two guard. So that probably made him probably the most valuable asset that they had that they were willing to trade at the moment. So I thought that with Miami possibly could use a piece to get younger at the point guard spot, and get rid of Gordon Dragic in the process, or with New Orleans, because we don't know what they're going to do with Drew Holiday. I thought maybe those two teams might possibly trade their pick in order to get D'Angelo Russell, because probably most likely D'Angelo Russell will probably be better than the point guard who will be on the board for those respective teams when their position came up. Miami's picking 14th, I believe. New Orleans is picking 11th. So, but that wasn't what happened. But the Lakers were able to get a pick in the first round to begin the 27th overall pick from the Brooklyn Nets, as well as Brook Lopez, and they'll be sending D'Angelo Russell and Timofey Mozgov to the Brooklyn Nets in the deal, as reported by Adrian Wojnarowski. I think this is a great trade for both teams. With the Lakers, they get the pick that they wanted getting into the first round, and they get salary cap relief because they were able to trade away the bad contract with Timofey Mozgov. Get a good player in Brook Lopez they'll be able to possibly rent for a year, and then let his salary come off their books for next summer. So when they go after Paul George, which we all know, that Paul George earlier last week, reported that he was not going to be re-signing with the Indiana Pacers. Obviously, they could go after Paul George and probably still be able to get another max player, as well, with Brook Lopez contract coming off of their books, and with them getting rid of Timofey Mozgov. And for the Nets, they get a guy that maybe he just needed a change of scenery. Now he's playing in New York, so maybe that would be a great change of scene for him. And D'Angelo Russell, maybe he just needed to get out of LA and everything like that to really start to develop. Let him be the man, because obviously we don't know who is the man in LA, with their pieces being so young and everything like that. I think there's some talent with D'Angelo Russell. I think he just needed a change of scenery, and he's going to get that playing in Brooklyn. He's going to be the man. We'll see what he does with that opportunity. And then for the Nets to take Timofey Mozgov, they'll probably. I don't know if they're going to do with Timofey Mozgov because that's still a bad contract. I don't know if they're going to amnesty him, or probably possibly try to move him to a different team. But at least he's a replacement for Brook Lopez. So we'll see what happens there. And then with the Lakers, obviously they get Brook Lopez to possibly just rent for a year, and they get that 27th overall pick. So now they have two picks in the first round. Obviously, just building more and more assets. So, like I said, I think it's a win-win for both squads, and we'll see what happens with that. And then we had our first player option announced that Dwayne Wade has decided to opt in, and he will be with the Chicago Bulls for the 2017-2018 season. This one I'm a little torn about because obviously I'm a big proponent for Dwayne Wade getting his money because he's been a proponent of taking less money to make room for other guys over the years. And then when the moment came where he felt that he deserved to get paid, Miami cut him. They let him go. So I'm happy that Dwayne Wade is finally going to be getting his money that he deserves. But at the same time, I wish he would have opted out of that and became a free agent and then just moved on to a team that maybe he could be a missing piece or part of a missing piece to a championship contender. Just because Dwayne Wade, he ain't getting no younger. He's 35 now, and I would have loved to see him play for a championship contender this upcoming season. Whether that would have been, with Boston or with Cleveland or San Antonio or maybe with the Clippers or something like that. You know, I would have loved to see Dwayne Wade be able to go into a situation where he could compete for a championship one more time. before he walks away from the game. Because, like I said, he's 35. This will probably be, who knows? This might be his last year. So I really thought that, you know, although the money just was too good to turn down, I really was wishing that he would, just so he could get that one last shot to go ahead and compete for a championship. But I respect Dwayne Wade's decision to opt in. Get that money. You've sacrificed a lot of that money in your prime to make room for LeBron and Chris Bosh. So you know all that. And then also we have GM news as well. I forgot about this. David Griffin, the GM of the Cleveland Cavaliers, was actually let go today by the Cavaliers. He will not be returning, and according to sources, Chauncey Billups is actually in a prime position to be the new Cavaliers GM. He had a meeting, I believe he had a meeting today. So Chauncey Billups might be going to the front office of the Cavaliers as the new GM, which would be an interesting move. He has ties to both the freaking the owner Dan Gilbert and freaking also Tyronn Lue. So they think that those two relationships will be a strong proponent for Chauncey Billups accepting this job or being a strong candidate for the job. And will just be interesting. Chauncey Billups obviously hasn't had front office experience before, so we'll see what happens if he does get the job. But I thought it was a mistake by the Cavaliers to let go of what you would call it of David Griffin because he led the Cavaliers to the best three-year stretch in the franchise's history. So he definitely deserved a raise. He definitely deserved to get paid. He was the architect for putting those teams together, and you know I'm pretty sure he's going to be highly coveted by teams this offseason. So uh, I think that's pretty much everything that was reported today. Um, And I think that's it, y'all. So, like I said, the Lakers and the Nets agreed to a trade. Brooke Lopez and the 27th overall pick in this upcoming draft go into the Lakers. D'Angelo Russell, Timofey Mozgov go into the Nets. Dwayne Wade is opting in. He'll be on the Chicago Bulls for the 2017-2018 season. And then David Griffin was fired today by the Cavaliers. And Chauncey Billups is probably most likely the leading candidate for the GM job in Cleveland. So that's it for me, y'all. Have a great night, everybody. Continue to stay blessed. And as always, this is your boy, the Black Gandhi. Signing out. Till the next one. Peace.